In 2021, I didn't have a single lead coming in from online marketing or digital marketing to my insurance brokerage. Fast forward now to 2025, and I'm probably doing anywhere from 10 to 20 applications just from using YouTube alone. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use YouTube yourself as an insurance broker to consistently generate leads every single month. What is up, guys? For those of you who do not know me, my name is Philip Setter. I've been in the insurance industry for over 10 years now, and I've been able to scale my brokerage 100% online to six figures and beyond. If you want to do the same thing in your business, I've recorded a 1-hour masterclass, and you can just click the link in the description below to check it out. But without further ado, let's just get right into this video. Before I actually just get into the presentation that I've built for you guys explaining how to use YouTube, I just want to give you a little bit of context about why I believe that you need to use video content marketing, especially in 2025 as an insurance broker. Here's the thing. All of these different industries, these different professions, insurance broker, financial advisor, real estate agent, mortgage broker, realtor, they're all just a commodity that really at the end of the day, our product isn't different than any other product that another insurance broker has. So the way to set yourself apart from everyone else and to build that know, like, and trust factor with your clients, I believe the best way is video content marketing. Because here's the thing, blog posts or articles or even posts that you're making without your face in front of the camera, people don't actually get to know who you are as a person. Like, who is Philip Setter? Why would I buy insurance from him over some other guy or over this guy over there? What sets me apart from anyone else? And how do I build, again, that know, like, and trust factor? Video content marketing is one of the best ways that you can achieve that. And YouTube specifically, which is the #2 search engine in the world. Google is #1 and YouTube is #2. Google bought YouTube, I think in 2019 or 2020. This is one of the best platforms for people to be able to search for content and for your content to be found and for you now to build a relationship with those people and eventually nurture them from being a lead to a client. So here's some things that I'm going to say about YouTube before we get started. #1, fail forward and fail fast. I've been trying to make YouTube work since probably 2016 or 2017, and maybe in a future video or down the road, I will show you guys some of my first videos that I made on YouTube, and they're terrible. Here's the thing. It's not going to be perfect the first time around. It's not going to be perfect the 10th. It's never going to be perfect. However, if you focus on progress over perfection, you are going to make incremental improvements over time, and eventually it is going to start to work. So focus on progress over perfection and fail forward as fast as you can, because you need to quickly learn, adapt, and evolve moving forward. And so one of the best ways that you can achieve this is think about the first 50 videos that you make as absolutely throwaways. Now, I'm not saying that you should make shitty videos and terrible videos and not put effort into them. What I'm saying is you need to calibrate your brain so that you're not going to be expecting success from your first, 3 months or 6 months or even 12 months making videos on YouTube. When I first got serious about making videos on YouTube for my insurance brokerage, I didn't see a single client for 1 year. And I made 8 long form videos and 5 to 10 short form videos every single month for a year. And I didn't see a single client. But then after that first year, I got 1, and then I got 2, and then I got 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 5 per month, and then 10 per month, and 15 and 20 per month from YouTube, small deals and big deals alike. However, I delayed that gratification for as long as I could, and I treated it like something I wanted to learn, adapt, and evolve with and do for the rest of time. So going back to this original statement, what I mean by the first 50 videos are just throwaway videos is you're really just learning the entire process. You're learning how to get in front of a camera, how to use, this camera right here and the microphone and the backdrop and the lighting, how to do editing, how to create a hook at the beginning, how to create your intro, how to create a thumbnail that works, how to do the tags, how to do the SEO. You're learning how to do all those things. And I'm not saying that the first 50 videos are going to be throwaway videos. However, if you expect nothing from them, but for the opportunity to learn how to use YouTube, then you won't be disappointed when nothing happens. And you can take that first 6 to 12 month period as a learning process. And then eventually, once you start seeing results, it won't matter that those first 50 videos were just throwaway videos. Now, here's the thing with YouTube is there's really two types of content that get pushed on YouTube. One of those is what I'll say is interest-based content. So this is just, fun, interesting content that YouTube will push to people that it thinks that they want to watch, okay? So if you go on YouTube and you're scrolling and you see a video, it's like funny cat video. No one is ever on YouTube searching, show me funny cat. Maybe there's some people that are, but most people are not searching for funny cat video compilation 2025, for example. This is just funny content that YouTube has seen people are reacting positively to, and it's pushing that content out to viewers that think like cat videos, for example. It's pushing that content to them. The other one is SEO-based content. Now, this is where you are going to focus in your business, is you are going to create content that people are searching for. So term life insurance versus whole life insurance, for example, universal life insurance versus whole life insurance, infinite banking explained. These are subjects that people are searching for. Now, of course, there is going to be some overlap with interests over here, like a Venn diagram, interests and SEO-based content. There is a little bit of overlap where it's going to be pushing some content that you've made to people that they think are interested in these insurance topics. However, the majority of your content is going to be in that search-based category. And another benefit of using YouTube as one of your primary sources of content marketing is it's so easy to repurpose the content, because you can build your long-form content and your short-form content on YouTube and then repurpose that across all of your other social media platforms, such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and any other social media platform you might use. It's such a good place to have as the base for your content and then repurpose this. And the last thing that I'm going to say about, you obviously can see that I love video content marketing and YouTube. The last thing that I'll say about video content marketing and YouTube that I love so much is the quality of clients that come in to your business. So for example, let's say you're running a cold ad on Facebook, or you're doing door knocking, or you're cold calling, or whatever it is that you're doing to try and get clients. You're the one that's pestering the client, or you're the one that's reaching out to them. And when you actually finally get on the phone with them, they're like, what do you want? Like, I've had leads before that I've done with Facebook ads that have scheduled a time for me, and I've called them and they're like, yeah, who is this? What do you want? What are you doing? Quit wasting my time. And I'm like, what do you mean? You booked the meeting with me. I thought you wanted to talk to me. That quality of lead is so low versus the quality that you get with video content marketing. The quality of leads that come in from YouTube are so much more warm and higher. I get on the phone with someone who's scheduled a meeting from YouTube. They've watched my content, they've watched my videos, they went to my website, they looked up some things, and they booked a meeting with me. They get on the phone and they're like, hey, I know you're super busy. I watched all your videos. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for what you're doing. I only have a couple questions and then I'm ready to buy. I promise I won't waste too much of your time. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, we can have a discussion. Like, it's absolutely fine. But here's the thing. That quality is so much higher than the quality of leads that you're getting from other sources, such as cold outreach. So in my opinion, YouTube and video content marketing are one of the best ways that you can grow your insurance brokerage in 2025. Okay, so let's just get into it right away here. So step one, obviously with starting a YouTube channel, is you just need to go in and actually start the channel. I'm not going to get into, everything you need to do for that because it's relatively self-explanatory. But one of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to spend some time on your personal branding. So, whether or not you go through, outsource someone on Fiverr, a contractor, or you do it yourself, you can use ChatGPT also for a lot of this stuff. If you just go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm an insurance broker. I want to build a new YouTube channel. Can you give me some help with personal branding? You want to pick some color scheme. You want to pick, some different texts and things like that really make yourself stand out, as well as make it a little bit easier for you to build, your banner and maybe some other things like that that's on your page. So you want to go through and spend a little bit of time setting that up. The next thing you want to do is you want to set up your upload defaults. So just setting consistent end screens, descriptions, and tags. So again, I'm not going to go super in depth with this, but one of the things you can do on your YouTube channel once you start getting started is if you know that every single description is going to be the same, which by the way, I talk about this in full in my masterclass. Again, if you're interested in that, it's in the description, or just comment masterclass below. But you're going to want to set consistent end screens and descriptions. So if your description is going to say, hey, here's some helpful videos that I have. Here's the website. Here's my lead magnet. Here's a little bit of information about myself. Here's my name, my phone number, my email, and my website. You want to put that in every single description of every single video. And if you just check my description in this video, you'll see, how I kind of lay everything out. Another thing is tags. So you can set some just default tags to every single video. So for people in the life insurance business, again, that would be, life insurance. If you're in Canada, life insurance Canada. If you're in the States, life insurance, USA, term life insurance, whole life insurance, UL, term versus whole life. All of these, are relatively searched. I'll say this about tags. They're not as relevant as they used to be. Like in 2015, 2018, tags were quite relevant. They don't really matter nowadays anymore, so don't get too stressed about tags, but you do want to spend a little bit of time setting all this up. Now, the last thing that you need to do is you need to set up your lead generations. Every single video, and we're going to talk about the format here a little bit later on, but every single video that you create obviously needs to be pushing someone to something, whether that's, like in this video, a masterclass, or it could be some type of lead magnet, like download, the top 10 life insurance companies in Canada, or download this guide, or, get an instant quote on my website. Whatever it is that you have, you want to build that out in the description as well as in the comments of each video. If you have something to trigger a comment, you're going to want to send people to a location where hopefully you're grabbing their information and then nurturing them over time to eventually become a client. I'm not going to get into the back end of, this process. Like I mentioned, this is just for YouTube, but obviously you need to have somewhere to lead them, to nurture them, eventually for them to become a client. Again, I have more of this in my masterclass. If you're interested in that, either click the link in the description or comment below. However, one of the things that you should be doing with your lead generation is you should be using some type of tool like Bitly or something else, just to be able to track all of the links, the clicks from specific areas. So you can create specific, so let's say your lead magnet is www.yourwebsite/lead magnet. I'm just giving you an example here. You want to go to Bitly, create a specific link for that, and then put them in different places, whether it's the description or the comments or in channel description, pardon me. You want to be putting those in different places to be able to, one, track how many people are actually clicking from a YouTube video. That's the first thing. And two, just to see where they're clicking from. The next thing you need to do is you need to set up your recording studio. So, obviously, here's the thing. You don't have to get this perfect day one. You don't have to invest a ton of money. I started YouTube with my webcam and literally nothing behind me, but like a blank drywall, wall, just white, absolutely not even a picture up on there, and some crappy microphone. I don't even know what microphone it was. Maybe it was just a computer microphone. And surprisingly enough, I still was able to get, some videos out that gained a lot of traction. So it doesn't need to be perfect. However, over time, you should start to build out, your recording studio. So find a room in your house, or if you have an office, set up a room in your office. The first thing is video equipment. So I'm using the Sony A65 or A6400, pardon me, right now. You can use any camera. One of the things that you should be aware of with cameras is just make sure that it's not a camera that's specific more to photos. Make sure it's set up for video. So some of the SLR cameras that you can get, pardon me, they'll have a max limit for recording, and then they'll overheat, past a certain time frame. Like my old camera would overheat past 20 minutes, which obviously didn't work, because I batch my content, which I'm going to explain further on in this video. So you want to find a camera, obviously, that works for video content and that, can do a lot of video content. The second thing is audio setup. I would say this is more critical than the camera. People will watch a video that is, maybe bad video quality, but if it's bad audio quality, chances are they're probably not going to watch it for that long. I'm using the Shure MV7 mic right here. This is relatively cheap. I think it's like $200 or something like that. And then if you do a little bit of editing in the software, once it's done, it can sound really good. I think this sounds great. You can find some affordable, Amazon alternatives. There's lots of other ones, the Blue Yeti or other things like that. Quality editing obviously makes quite a bit of difference, but the audio is one of the most important parts. Now, as far as lighting, natural light is good. The only thing that I don't like about natural lighting is you're kind of at the whim of the sun and the clouds and Mother Nature. Because here's the thing, I'm right now in a dark room. I have the blinds closed. I have the door closed. This is a controlled environment. The sun can come up, it can go down, a cloud can go over the sun, anything can happen, and this image is going to be the same. With natural lighting, if you have a cloud that comes over, all of a sudden it gets dark in there and then it shines up and the exposure is really high. It's really hard to control the exposure within your camera, you know, and control what it looks like throughout the entire video. So if you can, try and put blinds, you know, blackout blinds over that and close the room. And then what I have here, I have a key light right here. It's at 45 degrees and it's just shining right in my face. And then I have obviously a bunch of little backlights behind me. You don't need the backlights. I just think it looks cool. You know, it's a nice little aesthetic. But I think, you know, if you want to start out relatively cheap at first, just get that key light, have it shine at 45 degrees, you know, and I think you're relatively good to go. Step number 3, like I mentioned before, now you want to start to, you know, research some different topics that you're going to create. So we have the recording studio, we have the channel set up, you got a good picture of you and the description, everything set up. Now, again, like I said, YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world. Google is number 1. However, the content that you're going to be creating is search-based questions that your ideal clients are actually typing into YouTube. So here's the thing, nobody's watching life insurance for entertainment. They're seeking answers to specific questions. So there's many different ways that you can find topics, and in the next slide, I'm gonna talk about a few other ideas. But the number 1 way, which I actually don't even have in this presentation, to find topics that are good topics to record videos on is go to your competitors on YouTube, go to their content, filter by most popular, and then make those videos. Watch them. Of course, don't copy them and plagiarize them, you know, exact word for word. Watch them, see what they're doing, see, you know, how they explain it. And, you know, and if you agree with it, put your own spin on it, but just rob and duplicate what other people have done. Go to my channel and look at the top performing content on my channel, watch it and make a better video and then put it out. Maybe I made it 2 or 3 years ago. You know, maybe it's old content. Maybe something has changed in 2025. But the best way that you can find content that you can make for not just for insurance, for anything for that matter, is just look at what your competitors are making, look at their most popular videos, watch it, put your own spin on it, and then put that content out. Because here's the thing, a lot of people may think that YouTube is saturated or that, you know, because someone else has done it. A lot of people even think for a company, if say, oh, someone else has created this product, then, you know, the market's saturated. No one wants this anymore. No, that's not the case. Here's the thing. If that was the case, we would only have one car manufacturer. We'd only have one clothing manufacturer. We would only have, you know, one coffee maker out there. People like different choices and people connect with different people. You might watch a video from me, for example. You might like this look. You might like the way that I present it. You might, you know, like my mustache and all of this. But someone else, they might hate it. They might come to this and they're just like, this guy, I hate him. He sucks. I hate the way he talks. He's too slow. He's too fast. You know, his mustache is stupid. Whatever it is, people connect with different people. So just because I've made a video on a certain subject material, that doesn't mean now that it's like saturated across the market. So again, just because someone's created it doesn't mean that you can't create it yourself. And to find content to make, go to your competitor, see what they're making, and then just rob and duplicate exactly what they're making. Here's a few just ideas for top performing video content. How much life insurance do I need? You know, this is a high volume search query addressing a fundamental need. Term versus whole life insurance explained. You know, I kind of went into that. Best life insurance in Canada/USA 2025. Obviously, you know, if you're in Canada, put Canada. If you're in the USA, put USA. These are kind of common ideas. These are just to give you, you know, a little bit of ideas for your channel. But here's some different ways that you can actually now start to research the different ideas that you can make. Besides that one, the first one that I told you, that's the best way to do it, obviously. However, there are a few different tools that you can use on your channel. TubeBuddy, and vidIQ. I kind of use both of these, you know, depending on how I'm feeling. I think I have both of them installed. This is just like a browser extension, and you can actually, if you go to a competitor, like if you go to another insurance advisor's channel, it'll show you, you know, different subject, like it's a browser extension, right there, and it'll show you what videos they would recommend based on a current video that you're looking at. It'll show you how often this is searched. It'll show you, which keywords are the best search, pardon me. So this is a good thing if you just install one or both of these just to get some better analytics on your channel. Here's a website you can go to, also ask.com. That's another thing. If you just put in questions about life insurance, it'll give you other questions that people are searching. Another thing that you can do as well is if you just go onto Google, like the search engine on Google, if you type in, let's say you type in just life insurance and don't put anything, you know how it'll pop up with an auto suggest, how much, if you put how much life insurance, for example, and there might be 10 different suggestions. How much life insurance is enough? How much life insurance do I need at 25? How much life insurance do I need when I retire? They'll have all these auto suggests. So if you start with a base keyword, and then you'll eventually get all those auto suggestions, create all those videos, or 5 of them or something like that. That's another good way to come up with some ideas. And then YouTube also has its own recommendations that it will give you, but you need to have some traction on the channel. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe 25 or 50 videos that are already created. But once you create enough videos and you start to gain traction on YouTube and people start to watch your videos, YouTube will tell you what your viewers are searching for. And then you can create content if you haven't created those videos already. You do need to obviously, build a little bit of momentum within your channel before you get that feature. Okay, let's talk about the actual format of the video now. And this is, once you get this down, every video is the same. The first thing that you need to do within every video is the hook. And here's the thing, I made this mistake for years and years with my videos and YouTube. Don't start the video with, hey, what's up guys? In today's video, my name is Philip Setter. I'm gonna be talking about life insurance, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like and comment, and don't start a video like that. You have in the 21st century, you have so little time to be able to grab someone's attention away from them and get them to stop scrolling and looking at everything else that they're looking at. You need to be very impactful with your message in the first 15 seconds. You need to say exactly, something that pulls them in. Maybe it's for example, whole life insurance or infinite banking or something like that. Instead of saying, hey, what's up guys? Welcome to today's channel. You can say if you landed on this video, chances are you've been sold a policy from one of these 3 companies and you're wondering if you're either wasting your money right now or if this is the best kept secret and this is the best investment for your life. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly if it is or not. That's way better than, hey, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about whole life insurance and whether you should buy it. Maybe you should buy it, maybe you shouldn't. So come up with some type of hook that instantly grabs them and brings them in. The next thing you're going to do is the intro. And you'll see this is in my video. All my videos do this formula. So hook, the first 15 to 30 seconds, you're going to explain exactly what it is you're going to show them. You're going to hook them in, bring them in, tell them what they can expect out of your video. The second thing you're going to do is you want to establish your expertise, and include a call to action. So you're going to say, hey, my name is Philip Setter. Here's a little bit about me. I've been in the insurance industry for 10 plus years. Here's a free resource that I have, for yourself. You can say, this was what I said in mine. I said, hey, my name is Philip Setter. I'm the founder and CEO of Affinity Life, where I've helped thousands of Canadians find the right life insurance at the right price, all from the comfort of their own home. If that sounds interesting, you get an instant quote at affinitylife.ca. Check the link in the description below. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. It's a quick 15 seconds. It's your call to action, and you're establishing your credibility within the industry. You want to create something like that. Very quick, very simple, but it is at the beginning because most people are not going to watch the end of the video. They are going to end it, maybe at 30% or 50% or 60%. So you want to have that at the beginning. Number 3, this is the meat and potatoes, of the actual video. This is where you're teaching, you're delivering the value. So you're saying, okay, whatever it is, you have your bullet points, 8 different bullet points. Here we go. Which, by the way, and again, I get into this all in the masterclass, I don't script any of my videos, as you're probably seeing right now, watching me kind of fumble along trying to come up with this hook on the spot. But I don't script any of my videos. I will just put bullet points for everything that I want to talk about, and then I will just talk naturally. I'll just talk as if I'm talking to someone. I'm having a video call with someone and they just ask me about YouTube or ask me about something else. I'm just having a casual conversation. Imagine a client was sitting down with you and they said, hey, can you explain the difference between term life insurance and permanent life insurance? Okay, yeah, that's really easy. So I don't script my videos. I don't recommend people script their videos. If you can, just put a bullet point up and go bullet point by bullet point. And then what you do is you simply will look at the camera. So let me look at this camera let me look at this camera. I got both cameras going right now. You look at the camera and you'll say, okay, so let me explain the difference between term life insurance and permanent life insurance. You go through your little thing. Once you're done that point, you look back at your screen over here. Great. Okay, now you have your second point. You look back at this, you finish your second point, and now all you have to do, is cut out the silence between point number 1 and point number 2. So editing becomes very easy. Now, outro, this is, just do a quick conclusion. I don't like asking for subscribers or for this or for that. All I ask is for a thumbs up. If people want to subscribe, they're going to subscribe. A thumbs up is good. It's just good for the algorithm. It pushes your video up. It's something that everyone can do. Asking for subscribers, I think I don't think it really works that much. I think if they want to subscribe, they will. And if they don't, they don't. Okay, let's talk about editing here. Here's the thing. I don't edit any of my videos anymore. Obviously, I have a team of contractors that edit all the videos, but at first, I think you should go through the process. I edited all my videos when I first got started in the industry, and I learned, what worked, what didn't, and I also kept my costs really low as well, because video editing can get expensive, and if you're fumbling your way around, again, creating that first 50 videos where, you're trying to figure out how to do the message and how to get in front of the camera and how to do the intro and the outro and the hook and the call to action, all this stuff, it's a lot, right? So I think you want to learn the editing yourself. And the editing, I'm not going to go super in depth in this video, but it should be relatively easy. You're just doing a couple things within the video. So one, you're cutting out all the blank time that you're just, obviously not talking because you're looking back at your screen and you're looking back at the camera and then delivering your points. You're editing out all that blank space. So it's a fast-paced video that you're going for. That's the first thing. The second thing is you want to edit out all the ums, ahs, or if you have any mistakes throughout the video, don't restart the video, by the way, when you're editing. Just, try and go back to the previous point and then edit it from that point. If you make a mistake, just go back and then start at that point. But edit all that out, edit all your mistakes and your ums out there, and then just add some different animations so you can do really easy zoom in, zoom out. That's one thing. Or panning, where it starts to zoom slowly in and then it comes back out. Those are really easy things to do. And then a little bit of B-roll. If you just go to a few different websites, I think Pexel is one website that I used to use. There's a few other ones. If you just look up free B-roll and just search, my husband and wife, in a home or something like that, or, moving into your new house or whatever it is that you're looking for. If you're talking about term life insurance for families, maybe look up, husband, wife, and baby, or on a picnic or something like that. Just put in a little bit of B-roll. All you're trying to do is you're just trying to cut the attention away from you all the time and keep people's attention. And you do that by just having a transition, every 15 to 25 seconds. And it doesn't need to be big. It could be a zoom in, a zoom out. It could be a cut. It could be a pan, or it could be B-roll. But you just want to have your video, somewhat cut up just to maintain that interest over time. Now, a couple free tools you can use for editing. DaVinci Resolve is free and you can use that. That's really easy. Apple Editor also is free. I use Premiere Pro, or I did use Premiere Pro back in the day. Again, I just have contractors now that do all my video editing. However, it's just what I learned on. Any of these will work. There's nothing there. So thumbnails are a little bit interesting. You can use Canva to create your thumbnails. If you look at any of my thumbnails on this channel or on my YouTube or on my insurance channel, you'll see the number one thing with all of my thumbnails is the photos. Here's the thing. We all do them because they work for a reason. All of these things, all the faces, we do them because they work. So with thumbnails, you're going to have to go out, you're going to have to take some still photos, get your camera, set it up in a spot and take some goofy photos. Like you look like an idiot when you're doing it. You feel like an idiot too when you're doing it. But over time, it's just like another thing that you do in your business, but other than that, I get a graphic designer to generate all my thumbnails. I'm really bad at graphic graphic design, but you can use Canva. And if you just like take out the background of your image and then you put in some other things, to make it a little bit more interesting. Again, I would try and keep your costs low at first because you want to create that first, 30 to 40 videos, relatively cheap, get it out there, learn the process, and then improve upon it. So if you want to use Canva, that's a great tool to use. And now with AI and Canva, you can tell it what to do and it'll do a lot of the things for you. But the number one thing with thumbnails is it's the picture. It's the photo of you doing some goofy image, like, looking up or rolling your eyes or, covering your face or whatever it is. You feel kind of silly doing them, but there's a reason that we all do them. You can see every single successful YouTuber, they're all using them. There's a reason, because people see you, they connect with that and they want to watch it. And it's an interesting thumbnail that they connect with. So let's just get into developing your content calendar. And I think in the next one here, okay, good. So in developing your calendar, and I think I have it in the next slide here, but I'm going to talk about it right here just because it makes more sense. So you're going to want to do a couple things. Number one, you're going to want to create your different pillars of content that you have. So for me, in the previous, it could have been, life insurance 101, disability, could have been taxes, could have been financial planning, could have been general updates or whatever. You want to create your different pillars of content that you talk upon, and then you can create content in those specific pillars, and it'll give you, a good bucket to pull from when you're pulling ideas. Another thing too is you can use ChatGPT to write a lot of this for you and generate the video concepts. However, I'd be a little bit careful with that. I've tested using ChatGPT quite a bit with videos, and the problem is it's gonna write an outline for you and a script for you, and you're gonna say, okay, yeah, this looks great. And then you're gonna put it up on the screen and you're gonna get ready to record, and you're gonna look at it and you'll be like, okay, hang on, what does it want me to say? That doesn't really make sense. That doesn't flow there. Because you haven't spent the time to actually position the video in your head and put all the ideas and the bookmarks and what you're going to talk about and how you're going to talk about it and what makes sense at the beginning versus the end. So I would use it more to come up with just the ideas for videos as opposed to the actual outline, because I would find that, maybe it's different with you, but I find for myself, if I actually have the full outline that's there, it's actually less helpful for me, and I feel like it doesn't really make sense. And I'm like going into one topic and then going into the other topic. So I would just use that to come up with ideas and descriptions and tags and all those other things. But to actually write the outlines and the bullet points out, I think you should do yourself. And the last thing for your content calendar, I'm going to talk about this on the next slide here, is once you get started, I would aim for 8 long form videos per month and as many shorts as you can. Maybe when you first get started, you're doing no shorts, and then over time, short videos, by the way, are 60 seconds and under. Maybe over time you start to increase that, maybe do a couple, 5 to 10 per month. Now, here's the thing. You can repurpose all of this content across all your other platforms. So once you start with those 8 long form videos, you can then use them and repurpose them onto Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Oh, pardon me. You can't repurpose on TikTok, but you could do Facebook, you could do Instagram, you could do LinkedIn. Here's the thing. You can't share that long form video on those platforms. You could share a link to them where people could click and then watch it, but those platforms don't want people to leave them. So if you post something that has a link, whatever platform it is, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever it is, it's not going to push that post as much as another post. So how I would repurpose long form content is sparingly, and then make a post native to whatever platform you're on saying, hey, here's, I was just having a conversation with a client the other day and we talked about term versus permanent and they had a lot of questions and it was really interesting. By the way, I recorded another video detailing this in full length. If you want to watch that video, comment term versus whole below. That way you don't actually have the link on that post. So whatever platform you're on is going to push it a lot more, not throttle that post. And then number 2, you're going to drive engagement because people are going to comment, and then that algorithm is going to think, hey, this is a good post. People are commenting. I should post it to more and more people. That's why you always see on those platforms, people say, hey, comment this below to get this thing? It's because that comment drives engagement, which pushes that post to more and more people. So you can repurpose this across other platforms, but it's really the short form, content that you can repurpose, because short form content, you can record it and then put it on YouTube, but then you can also put it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn and natively upload it to every single one of those platforms. And then it'll be pushed fine and it's not gonna be throttled at all. So step number 7, this is the final step here. You wanna scale and optimize now for long-term success. YouTube rewards consistency and it compounds over time. Quality content lasts forever and continues to generate leads. Here's the thing that I love about YouTube. Number 1, it's evergreen. So you create a piece of content now, it continues to get views 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. I've created content in 2020 that still to this day gets so many views and continues to generate leads for my business. So it's like, don't be stressed if nobody watches your video today. Here's the thing with SEO-based content. SEO-based content doesn't blow up. It grows slowly over time. And then eventually, that compounding effect will drive results within your business, but it doesn't happen right away. But the number 1 key is being consistent. You need to continue to create content and push it out each and every single month. And then you will start to see significant traction down the road. Now, how I would recommend scheduling all of your content is by what I would call batching all your content. This is just the easiest way that I think you can go through the process. Instead of, recording a video on Monday, edit it on Wednesday, getting the thumbnail and scheduling it, and then the next week you schedule it, and then repeating that process over and over. I would hate to do that. I think that's a waste of time, because then you're constantly flipping back and forth from, idea stage to recording stage to editing stage to thumbnail stage, and then you're going back again. That doesn't really work. So I batch all of my content and I batch it all in advance. So already I have next month and the month later content recorded and it's being edited and it will be scheduled. So how I do this in my business is, let's say it's the 15th of the month. So by the 15th of the month, now I'm going to be coming up with ideas for videos. So I'm scripting, pardon me. So at that point, I go into my process and I come up with 8 long form videos, 5 to 10 short form videos, and I write all the outlines for it, all the scripts, all the bullet points, everything. I'm ready to rock and roll. By about the 20th or the 25th, I'm gonna start recording. And I'm gonna spend 2 to 3 days recording all of that content in advance. And I can't, usually by like video 3, I'm kind of like cooked a little bit. Here's the thing. If you're bored creating the video, people are going to be bored watching the video. So if you feel yourself starting to get like a little bit burnt out, and for example, this video already right now is video 3 of the day. So I'm starting to get a little bit tired and I can hear like the strain in my voice. That's about the max that you can do. So take 2 to 3 days, book it off in your calendar, and it doesn't have to be the whole day. It can just be half the day, and create as much content in those 2 to 3 days as you can. Batch it all, record everything, and now all of a sudden you can, let's say it's the end of the month or the first of the month. That month is already booked for content because you're doing it in advance, but then at that point, now you're editing all the content. So you should have all the content edited and ready to be uploaded by, let's say, the 5th of the following month for the next month after that. So then it's edited, you're going through it, everything looks good. Now you're scheduling it, you're scheduling all the reshares, you're doing all the tags, you're doing all the descriptions, you got all the thumbnails, and you put it up. Everything should be done by the 5th or the 10th of that month for the following month. And now all of a sudden you have just everything batched and ready to go, and you're doing it in segments. So you come up with all the ideas, done, that's 1 day. Then you record all of them, that's 2 days, 2 to 3 days. And then you schedule them all, that's another day. So, and it's not the full day, it's just, let's say, a half day. So in total, you're really only doing, out of a month period, 4 days, 3 to 4 days of actual work for this entire process for, a massive social media outreach, video content marketing on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn can be extremely powerful. So just to sum up here, the first 50 videos, focus on quality titles, thumbnails, and simple editing. Learn the entire process yourself. The scaling phase, once you get past that, that's when you can start to outsource some individuals. Like for myself, I have graphic designers, I have video editors, and I have a fractional CMO that manages a lot of this stuff behind the scenes for me. So you can focus on the high value tasks, high value activities within your business, and not, those, low value admin tasks, graphic design, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then optimization. So concentrate on recording quality content and client meetings. That's what you should actually be doing in your business. That's how you drive a successful insurance business forward. Focus on the high value tasks, which is, generating content, generating traffic for whatever your offering is, and then meeting with clients. All those other things you want to be able to outsource eventually and not do any of these yourself. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or comments, just drop them below. And as always, if you guys are enjoying this content, all I ask is that you give it a thumbs up, just like I said. I'll see you guys in the next one.